Pamela, we are going to spend the week together how I'm currently balancing fitness, growing and running a business, eating well, making changes with my nutrition in terms of gut health. Do you think at the minute it's flung everywhere like, oh, work on your gut health, but I kind of want to unpick in this video as to what the actual practical changes that you can start making, because your gut health isn't just it's not just bloating. When you think of it, like, you can be eating super healthy, super clean, but if your gut isn't in a good place and it's irritated, or you're eating things that don't actually agree with your gut, then it's going to be really hard to actually digest the good food and get the best nutrients out of your food. So that is, where you can start just making like practical strategies that work really well and are really effective. And I've done that over the past 3 weeks. I've been super consistent just with small habits. It doesn't need to be this overwhelming thing, and doesn't mean like restricting loads of stuff. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to take you through some of my training this week as well. This morning so far I've been up and at it. Gone and ran. I just did a 25-minute run, which was glorious. It was a gorgeous vibe. It was just as the sun was rising. It feels as though autumn's on its way, as in I've started to notice a little bit that it's getting a little bit darker as the days go on, which I'm not mad about, but I am a summer girl through and through, and I feel like I chase and follow the sun. Also just wanted to catch up with you really as to what is going on. I've got some new makeup which I'm using right this second. I think it needs sharpening actually. It's obviously not sponsored, by the way. It's the Kylie Cosmetics. She's brought out a new lip kit, hasn't she? Do you remember the OG lip kit she did? And I wanted to give it a try. This is the Plumping Lip Liner in shade Coconut. It's really nice, and it's kind of like between a nude and a brown. I'm quite liking it. My hair I had done yesterday. I've been wearing it wavy. You'll have seen in my past vlogs it's been looking a bit of a shambles, to be honest. It really has not been looking its best, but I've been trying out different products and I still haven't found I haven't been gelling with them, literally not been gelling with them. And when I had my hair done yesterday, I had a trim, nearly shed a few tears because I'm so protective over my split ends. It's ridiculous, like actually ridiculous. As she was trimming the ends of my hair, she was like, do you realise you've got a layer like on this back layer here? Apparently it's like that long. And what I think has been happening is when I've put my curly hair products in, thinking that I'm doing good, as in by not putting heat on my hair, I have been leaving it to air dry some days, and you just can't be bothered having to get the diffuser out. Because it is a faff. And honestly, it feels like it takes longer than just blowing out my hair. So it's put me off a bit, to be honest, because I feel like I've snapped loads of my natural hair on those bits at the back, thinking that I was doing a good thing, but all that was happening was, I think it's literally been snapping off if I've left it to air dry, which I never knew. Like honestly, having wavy hair and trying to style it and find your own routine feels so difficult. I've tried so many different types of routines on TikTok, Instagram, but there's a big difference if you've got wavy hair versus curly hair. That is what I've learned. You really need to look at tutorials for wavy hair if you've got wavy hair, and curly hair, you know, if you've got like super ringlety curls. I feel like I'm gonna get there. I just think it's gonna take me time and trying different products. I've tried other people's routines as well, and it's not really worked. Other new beauty bits, because there was a girl who was asking what my favourite beauty bits at the minute. I'd love to share more of this stuff because this is my, like, I'm a scents girly through and through. This I got in a smaller bottle just as I wanted to really test it out, but it is such a nice everyday scent, and I think you know you've got a good scent if someone compliments you on it. And this is the Loewe Aura White Magnolia. It's so nice. I'm just using my Too Faced translucent powder. I've just been out and about and going for late brunch with my dad, who's over in Spain at the minute. It's actually the first week, I dread to think, in possibly a year. Oh my God, that's so long, that me and Mason have actually been apart, which is madness. Like, we are literally in each other's back pockets at all times, especially because we do Flowness Club together and work together, go to the gym together, live, breathe, sleep, eat together. So it's like I've not got my second, it's like I've not got my other hand, which feels kind of funny, but also nice at the same time, because time on your own, and especially if you're an independent person, you need it, and it's healthy. I do struggle to sleep because I'm just used to him always being there. That's the only thing. But last night I actually managed to fall asleep and be like a normal person. I was thinking about this, how like I feel like I'm always going to be one of these people who is petrified to go to sleep. At my grand age of 27, I still feel like I am 16 when it comes to nighttime. Like, I get on edge and anxious. I feel like I'm improving though, and it just takes time, but I'm sure you can relate if you also are a bit of an anxious sleeper. Like, any slight noise and oh God, I literally freeze. I've been doing a bit of everyday makeup recently and not using as much foundation these days unless I'm going out, you know, for dinner or something. And my current fave foundation that I've just restocked, I don't know where the lid is the Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable in shade Sand. I haven't got this on right now, I just thought I'd show you, but it's such nice like buildable coverage. And then I also restocked on, I've literally got so many, I restocked my Jecca Black brow gels, although I made an error and I went, like, as I'm in Spain at the minute, I don't have like a solid person that I love to go to for like beauty bits. So I took a risk. I went to my nail lady for brows, who I adore. However, she is not my brow lady. She has butchered my eyebrows. They're so thin right now, and she also trimmed them, but we were too busy chatting for me to even notice. I was like, I should have said, oh, I don't need them trimming, because I like to brush them up. So I'm just gonna have to grow them out, but you know, it's hair, isn't it, at the end of the day? But yeah, they are my beauty updates. I wanted to talk to you about yesterday afternoon and the power of tracking your menstrual cycle, even if you're not having an actual true bleed. And I want to talk about this stuff more because it should not be a TMI subject. It should be something that's more openly discussed, and it was the luteal phase. So long story short, yesterday in the afternoon, I don't know where in earth it came from. There was nothing that happened in that particular day. I just felt this wave, like a big strong wave of sadness, like real sadness, and probably lasted about 2 hours. And I just went out for an outdoor walk, literally touched a flipping tree. Like, that's, I always just do something like that. Get out of the four walls of wherever you've been. It's usually you've been cooped up or you've been in work all day and staring at your screen, and you just feel like you need to do something, get out of that space. That is what I always do. And then I quickly looked on my Whoop watch where I can see my cycle. You can literally get any app on your phone, like any health app, and I'm working on something at the minute which will help with this. But I saw that I was in my luteal phase, like day one of my luteal phase, or so I'm pretty sure that I am. And it was this time last month when I've gone back through my notes and the exact same thing happened. Like, luteal phase, I get these waves, and I've been rebalancing my hormones, and I got some blood work done last week, which was really, really positive, because I can't tell you all the shifts in my blood work has been, it's gone like that. No, not like that. It's been gradual, as in I've been working on this since December of last year, and it's not been like, it doesn't take a month, I don't believe, to change your hormone health. Like, it takes time, and it's such a holistic flipping thing. Like, you can't just change your nutrition if you don't address the lifestyle side of things. Like, there is no supplement that's going to solve not sleeping enough, not being hydrated enough, and not eating the right amount of foods and the right foods for you, for what you need consistently. It's not about doing things for a month and then just throwing everything out the window. Like, you need to change on every single level, spiritually, physically, mentally. Everything needs to connect, which is what Flowness is about, isn't it? Like, this is what I've built my business around, helping you tap into your flow and your state where things start to just click, and you're having moments where you're like, oh, things are making sense, things don't feel like I'm pushing a boat uphill, you know? So anyway, I realised that I'm in my luteal phase, and it just makes you realise you're not crazy. There's so much power in just like harnessing your cycle and actually seeing where you are and knowing yourself more, thinking, okay, what do I need to change to help with these kind of symptoms and everything you kind of go through. That it doesn't need fixing, like, you're not broken, but it's just having that awareness around yourself, rather than, like, I remember years ago when I didn't understand enough. I feel like I used to turn my world upside down around my luteal phase. Like, that week was just like, I would just feel like I needed to change everything in my whole life, and then a few days would go by and be like, oh my god, I've overreacted. So that was interesting, and tools that helped me like through these phases is just coming back to yourself. And I know that sounds, you're probably thinking that's a bit flipping whoop, but it's not. It's just like taking time to sit with yourself in the morning, even if it is just 2 minutes, just taking a few breaths and thinking like, what do I need today? What do I need? What do you need to just feel like you're on the right path today? Don't think about next week or the next day. Just like, what can you give yourself today to help yourself feel calmer, feel more present, like you're in alignment with your life, and then just like plan your actions around that. And that is what just always helps and brings me right back to feeling a lot better. Okay, I've just got, we've got a lot to do today. We've got a lot to do this week. We've got a lot to do in this life if we want to achieve these things. But there's just so much I'm excited about at the minute, and it's just one day at a time, one day, one step, not the whole staircase. I feel like that is my quote of just life. I'm just working with this. This is like my desk setup, but look what I'm like sat on it's not even a bench, but this is how I'm currently working. The only desk setup, but I'm trying not to be a hunchback of Notre Dame. Just got some editing to do, some planning. Tomorrow we've got live yoga course. We're going to do yoga together inside the Flowness Club, which really looking forward to. I'm having one of my favourite yoga ladies, Francesca Stutley, come to my place, and we're going to do 7 a.m. yoga, which will be lovely tomorrow, and it's so needed. I feel like I've been really going after my glutes this past few weeks, and my hips are really tight. I learned quite a lot about trauma and how we actually store trauma in our hips, funnily enough, which makes sense on a biological POV if you think about it, because you know when you're stressed or you clench, don't you, in certain places, and as women we clench that area quite a lot. So I want to work on opening that kind of area, not in tomorrow's yoga call, but just in general, you know. One of the Flowness Club girls had made a day in the life reel yesterday, and I've watched it so many times. Like, I'm so nosy. I love seeing how people just go about their days, like some of my favourite content. So I'm just saving that and gonna see if we can upload that, and then I'm just on with my next YouTube upload. So we've got a meal prep video which will be up already. If you've not checked that out, please do, because I had an absolute drama with my SD card and I'm still not over it. Like, I'm even telling the story, like, it's making me emotional because I filmed, there was 4 days worth of filming on there, and it's also an SD card that I've had for a year, so it has, I'm gonna get upset, it has so much on, and I feel like it's still gonna turn up. I really want it to turn up, but because I'm heartbroken. But it's so much time. I'd filmed a whole meal prep video, which by the time I'd filmed it and everything set up probably took me like 6 hours. There is so much time that I put into my YouTube that you wouldn't always think when you see it's like a 10-minute video, but you know, getting different shots. I feel like I'm my own production team, and maybe this is my sign to try and get a little bit more help so that it can just streamline things, and then also mean that I can get things actually out quicker and not have so much like back and forth. But that's another story. So yeah, I lost this SD card and I'd filmed a whole meal prep video, so I had to refilm, but I thought I'm not doing the same recipes, I can't do that, so I've done new ones. So please, if you could go and support me, I would be so appreciative. So I've got that to do, and then I'm just going to do my prioritised list of the day, because I'm really tempted to just get straight stuck in to whatever's in front of me right now. But actually you need to check like what's going to move the needle most, like, and it's just, you know, breaking it down to 3 big things, and then if you have time for the other stuff, we have time. And then I've also done my plan in my journal this morning, so we're good to go.
What kind of class do you or your clients want? Do you want stretchy? Do you want yoga-y, the standing postures, the warrior, the triangle? And then we can kind of incorporate that into whatever I do. So yeah, just give me a little idea.
Hello, so they've just done an 8-week block that's been mainly upper and lower body focused, but a lot of the girls have said they've got really tight hips and especially tight glutes. Good morning. It is bright and early. It's 7:30 and we have got a live yoga class. So Francesca, who is one of my favourite yoga instructors ever, is coming to me, and we're doing it inside the Flowness Club, so we're all doing it together, which I'm really looking forward to. Just set up the yoga mats, and I've just been trying to work out which way is best because the sun is coming up behind me, so when I put my camera on it's all really dark. So I think this is the best way, but I just don't know which way to put the yoga mat, like horizontal or front on, so that you can see. I feel like I've got a good setup. I'll show you my laptop and everything. The pool man is here actually in the background. I forgot that he comes on Thursday mornings at this time. Oh god, big wasp. So got that to contend with, and just trying to work out whether to put some music on. Look! It's like a big red ball rising up. These are some new yoga mats that I've got. So this is set up. It has got my dusty footprints on, sadly. But this is the vibe. And then here we are on Zoom, Diddy Zoom.
Stretch your palms, shoulders down and back, arms out in front of you, interlace your fingers, push your palms forwards towards me. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, come over to your right side. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, over to your left. Inhale, look up if it's okay with your neck, opening in your throat, communication. Exhale, bend from your hips, coming down, top of the head towards the floor. Your arms come over your head. Let the weight of your arms open in your shoulders. Bring your arms in across, bring your hip towards your back. Or inhale, reaching over. Your forward leg, squeeze the thigh muscle, left hand comes down, right arm up. Look towards your right hand. Come forwards and down. If your forehead doesn't touch the floor, maybe grab a block or a cushion and stretch your arms forwards. Flat back to start with, and then we're going to curl over in a moment. Well done. 1, excellent. 2, 3, feel the muscles in your middle and upper back. Forwards, bring your arms above your head, hold on to the opposite elbow and lie here.
Here is my lower body session, which I thought I would take you through. So starting with the abductor machine, and I've been following my new program for the past few weeks, and I cannot tell you the difference in my glutes, just in how I felt on a whole. Like my scale weight, I've been around maintenance, but my glutes have been popping lately, and I've just felt so much stronger. This is all part of the new challenge that is coming on the 15th of September. We've got limited spots for this one, and I just can't tell you how excited I am for this to lock in. I feel like after summer and just, you know, when you're getting by in your sessions, but just sort of maintaining, like now is a really good time to just really reset, realign with your goals for the end of the year, and also have that accountability in one place. I track my workouts using the Flowness Club app, which is our brand new app. Like, what on earth? I can't tell you how incredible this feels, and I just can't wait for you to be creating that accountability for yourself with your actual sets and reps so that you can progressively overload, make progress, and just get out of that stuckness kind of feeling. I moved into line hamstring curls, and I've just been making sure that I'm really taking my sets to actual failure, no half-arsing reps, which I feel like I was doing for a big chunk of this summer, which is fine, you know. Then I went into V squat, so this is a new variation, and I'm just loving having some different programming and just targeting my lower body from totally kind of different planes. I haven't squatted that much over this past year and a half, so it feels so nice, and I just feel more athletic as well, like more powerful. I can go quite heavy with these V squats, which is surprising. I feel like when I started this, like when I added this exercise in, I was in struggle city, so I feel like my strengths progressed quickly with this. And then into some split squats. What I have done is changed the programming as in of each exercise, so it's done a bit more strategically, like the way I'm targeting glutes, and then more into say quads or hamstrings. This session, it's a hamstring, quad and glute focus, and then I have a more sort of glute dominant day. Really liking B stance RDLs, and I like with the dumbbells, you can get them closer to your actual shin, and I just find I feel it more in my actual glutes. Then I went into some single leg presses. Again, you'll be able to see on my face here, like I'm making sure I'm really pushing myself. I think if you want to see any change and actually get stronger, feel like you're making progress and you're making that time in the gym count, you do want to make sure that, you know, you're really being intentional with your lifts. Like that is the focus for our next 8-week block, intentional. And then finishing up with some high reps leg extensions, so also doing a little bit more quad work for them defined legs. then last exercise is a glute one, so cable, kickbacks, and just, I find not being able to go as heavy in these, I've had a little niggle in one of my hamstrings, so just playing it by ear. And then I was feeling pretty good today, so I added on a Stairmaster session. I did a 30-minute Stairmaster on and just got a bit of a sweat up, which was lovely. Last night there was an earthquake at 10 o'clock, 2.8 magnitudes. That's quite big, isn't it? God, I thought I heard a bang. I wondered what that noise was. I'm going into my favourite coffee shop, which is called Nostro. If you're ever in the Javier area, they do really, really nice coffee here. And I drive, like, I add on an extra bit of time to my trip just to go to this coffee shop. So that is what I'm going to go and do. And then I've got, what is the appointment called? I can't think for the life of me. A few more months later. So it was a recommendation by my nail lady, kinesiology. It's a consultation, but that is at 10 a.m. But this lady is called Michelle, and my mother, future mother-in-law, Mason's mum, is also called Michelle. And I was on the phone to Mason last night, and this Michelle was calling me, and I was like, oh, how funny, like your mum's calling me, Mason. So I was like, oh, I'll speak to you in a bit. Put the phone down on him, answered the phone, and I was like, hello, like this. And it was the kinesiologist. She was like, hi, I'm just ringing you about your appointment tomorrow. And I went bright red. Not that I wouldn't answer the phone to anyone like that, but I don't know. I was practically singing down the phone. She must have thought, who on earth is this Fruit Loop? Yeah, we've got that an appointment, which I think I'm going to ask her like what it is. I've had kinesiology once before, about 5 years ago. It was like energy work. I believe everyone does it slightly different, so I'll tell you how it goes. Okay, oh God, flipping steering wheel's kind of in the way. Just had my kinesiology appointment. I didn't feel the need to record that because we were just having some really deep chats, and sometimes I just wanted to be in the moment, you know, and take the time for myself. But kinesiology has two meanings. It's a scientific study of human movement focusing on anatomy, physiology and biomechanics for health, fitness and performance. It also refers to a holistic therapy that uses gentle muscle testing to identify and rebalance energy imbalances in the body, often linked to traditional Chinese medicine principles, and uses a complementary health approach, which was fascinating. One thing about me is I am going to heal myself naturally through natural remedies, and I really don't believe in taking drugs when not needed. You can heal yourself with herbs, with food. Like, food is medicine. And there's been times in my life where I feel like I've doubted that, and I've always come back to it, you know, like through and through. But if you didn't know what that was, it's like manual, I've got it up in front of me, by the way, manual muscle testing, where a kinesiologist applies pressure to a muscle to gauge its strength and use it as a form of biofeedback from the body's energy system. So this is how you can address imbalances. So she basically told me, as you know, I've been rebalancing my hormones. It takes work, you know, it's not something that's like, it changes each month, if that makes sense. And my blood work has changed in the best ways possible. And I'm always up for improving, but basically she'd be like pressing against my arm and you press upwards, and then your body basically tells you what's what. So she managed to work out, she explained like where I've got imbalances, and then she's given me some, what are these? It doesn't actually say what it is, 25 drops daily. She did tell me exactly what was in this, but of course it's gone out of my head because it was a lot to digest, but it's like natural, like plants, I'm not explaining that well. But yeah, this initiates the ability to heal itself, to restore balance, and it was crazy. So she was pressing certain parts like to work out where I was holding stress. I was in there for 2 hours. If I was pressing up and like it was weak at certain points, like that would tell her where the weakness was or where the imbalance was from. Like, absolutely fascinating. And I felt really I don't know, felt a little bit lightheaded after that, but I can't wait to try out these drops. And she basically worked out like Vitex was needed, which is to do with reproductive area. I'm fascinated. I'll keep you up to date with how we get on. 25 drops, and I think this is like brandy mixed with like a certain leaf. I have been waiting for 2 weeks for this parcel. I had such a mare with, is it DHL, getting it from the UK to Spain. Because I was in Bali and now Spain, it's been such a mission. I had to get my passport for this parcel, I had to sign a letter, send a document off. For some reason it's really difficult to get stuff that is active wear. Like, I don't know what they think it is, but this is from Jim King, who I worked with. And I've actually worked with this brand since, is it 2020? 2019, on and off since then, but very nice. Working on a more long-term basis. This is a few months' work, by the way. It's been so hard to get a parcel. Oh, this blue one's nice. Okay, I can't wait to try some of these on. I also have a discount code for you too. I will pop it in the description, but it is Olivia J10 for 10% off. This quality is really nice. I wear a size small as well in all Jim King. Just had a quick shower, just taking my watches off. I hate when I forget if I'm going out for dinner or something and I end up going out with like my Apple Watch or Whoop on. I'm actually considering trying the ring, as in I want to see how accurate it is. Like, is it the Aura or there's one called Ultra Human? Just as I'm really not enjoying wearing 2 watches at the minute, and I always get funny looks, but I like them for different things. The new Whoop, this one that I've got, May's got me it for my birthday, like the new one, which is really, really good for tracking like sleep, HRV, tracking your cycle, menstrual cycle as well, really good. Going out for dinner tonight, it's still Friday, so I'm just going to touch up my makeup that I did earlier that's kind of melted off. I just went out for a walk, finished my steps, and my phone had died, and do you know what I did? And what you could do on your next walk, I took my Kindle. I've never felt more like, I don't know, I was kind of thinking, oh my god, this looks really funny, but it felt so wholesome. You know, you're like, oh my god, I feel like a wholesome girl, a wholesome vibe. I was walking on this like mountain type thing, outdoor, just from a little Kindle, and I'm quite liking that at the minute. I'm reading a book on, it's quite sciencey actually, it's like nutrition side of things. I can't think of the name, which is not great, is it? I'm about 30% in. That's what I'm currently reading. I can't read it before bed because I find that anything that's like, it's not even self-help, but like sciencey, I start getting anxious about things if it's too much. Like I feel like before bed you need a read that is something just not real life, or you know, it takes you out of reality. I just called up a restaurant. It's like a Mediterranean one, but it's full, so I'm not quite sure where we're gonna go, just wherever we've got, wherever has availability, because it's a little bit last minute. Right, I'm gonna put on a bit of foundation. I don't know what I'm gonna wear tonight. I've got what have I got? I've got this red dress that I got. I basically ordered loads of stuff before Mason and I went to Italy, and of course it arrived like 2 or 3 weeks late. Like, I found it really difficult to get deliveries in Spain. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but they just never turn up. Yeah, it eventually arrived late, so I've got some outfits that I might wear from there. I was supposed to train legs this morning, but I was in the gym and I was limited with time, and it's one of my hardest glute days of the week, and I just thought, I'm not going to waste it. Like, I actually really enjoy this session and I'm going to have more time tomorrow, so I've saved it for then. I just did 25 minutes on the Stairmaster and some ab work, which was gorgeous. Going out for dinner, I've had a really good week, just productive vibes, trying to create more systems with Flowness Club. We took on a new hire, the amazing Josie, who I actually worked with 5 years ago of one of my first ever shoots that I ever did with a fitness brand, which was not my fitness pal, which was My Protein. So it's like a full circle moment. Like, she believed in me back then, and now like working with Flowness, and she's super experienced, and she's also a Cancerian. Can you believe it? A fellow Cancerian. And I don't think I've told you, but I went for a medium reading on Monday. I feel like I don't really tell people this stuff because I don't want people to think I'm nuts. Like, I don't know. Not that I keep it on the hush hush, but it's not something, you know, not everyone is into that stuff, so I'm conscious. And I feel like you do need to find a good one, but this one was telling me how, because I am a a Cancer. Cancers are very ruled by the moon. I love how we just got onto this, by the way. I feel like you're on FaceTime with me, to be honest, so watch me just start oversharing my whole life. Cancers are very ruled by the moon, so if you're a Cancer, you should really check the moon. And funnily enough, I remember, I think it was last year, I was like, why do my menstrual cycles sync with the full moon? So I'm gonna look a bit more into that. But she was saying, yeah, really check the cycles. And I think it's actually a new moon tonight or tomorrow. But I'm gonna start keeping tabs on that, because whenever I felt off, it does always seem to be syncing with that. And then something else kind of funny that happened the other day. So my dad's over at the moment, which is lovely actually, like to actually spend time with your parents if you've got them alive, like if you've got them alive, that sounds a bit morbid. Obviously my mum's not here. Just as a little reminder, like please make time for your mum or dad, like as you know, as we're adults, like I feel like we get limited time with them. You think like when we're children, obviously you're with them all the time and you go on family holidays and whatever else, but as we get older, like we only really see them for a quick dinner, and you're not really with them just like chilling out, even if you're not talking. So that's been really nice, because I hadn't seen him for like 3 or 4 months when we were in Asia. And the other night, oh, it was so sweet. So I was in here and my dad was outside on FaceTime to someone for like half an hour. I could hear him like cracking up. I was thinking, oh my god, who's he on the phone to? And I could hear a man's voice. And anyway, I was like, who's on the phone to? He was like, oh, my best mate. He flipped his phone screen round and it was Mason. And it just melted my heart, because that is every girl, like little girl's dream. You know, when you were younger, like I used to really hope that whoever I ended up with would get on with my dad, and it's just really, I feel grateful that they've got like a nice relationship, and my dad really likes him, because my dad hated my first boyfriend. I actually moved out over this first boyfriend. You live and learn. It was not good times, and I didn't speak to my dad for a whole year when I was, what, 16 or 17? That's, when you're that young, that's a lot, isn't it? I just realised, I hope none of you are makeup artists watching this, because you'll probably be really cringing. I showed you it the other day, but I'm really liking this Kylie lip liner. I told you the shade earlier on, but it's coconut, and what I've been doing is putting it on differently. Don't mind my hair, I'm going to sort that in a sec. So just on this Cupid's bit, only doing a bit of like the contour there, and then here's my finger and smoothing it out like that. And then I just go in with a clear gloss. I will always be a gloss girl, like even if they're not in a gloss. Oh, I can't figure out a gloss. I just feel like it elevates your lips so much. It just looks fresh, juicy, plump, all that good stuff. Put away that active wear, which I'm really excited to wear tomorrow. I've needed some new bits. Like I've done really good this year. Like I've reduced my consumption of just active wear in general, and like really, you know, just wearing stuff twice. Like I had these grey shorts that I have worn on repeat, like really on repeat. They're from Steph Fit's brand, I believe. They've literally bobbled, like they've got bits on them. I've worn them that much. I'm enjoying, do you know what, having a lot more balance in my life than this time last year. Honestly, I was living life this time last year, like I really was, in a different flow, which was really serving of that time. Like I had a clear laser focus, and like love that for me, but I have just no desire right now to go down that like hard discipline. I'm enjoying this more softer era, still with clear focus, very much so. Like I am someone who, I always need to have goals that I'm working towards, otherwise I just start feeling really odd. And I definitely think I'll set some new goals soon, but recently like the goal has been to have more balance, to have more normality in terms of like finding what that looks like for me, testing stuff, seeing what I want more of, what I want less of. Also just spending more time with friends and family, which is something I feel like I neglected a lot of last year. And I feel like I've pushed a lot of people away unintentionally. And that does come with, I think, when you're trying to grow a business from its infancy as well, like there's got to be some sort of sacrifice. Like I think you can you have it all? I don't quite know, but okay. I was torn between that red dress and this dress, but I do feel, you know, you're just like, this is a safer bet. It's got a nice high neck. So I'm just gonna put that on. Let's do a transition. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. Right, this is the dress. I'll try and show you in a second. But I just thought I was gonna flash my boob. The only thing is this situation, the slightest movement and I feel like my whole nipple is out. Oh my god. Even weirder that I just said that, because I think in my dream last night, I didn't even remember dreaming this morning, but in my dream last night, that was my dream. I was somewhere and my whole boob was out. Like I was sat at dinner. I don't know, my boob was just like out for dinner as well. Let's give this a little brush. I'm just gonna put on flats. Oh my god, see, I feel like it's coming out. Look at that. Oh, I'm quite enjoying this just toned down hair. I didn't realise that with the sun, I think it's just gone so light. I'm gonna go with the big earring, you know. It was my mum's birthday. My mum's birthday this week, just gone. So I feel like tonight is my celebration for my mum. I try and do something every year, like around her birthday. So tonight can be my mum's birthday dinner. Oh, sometimes I do just wonder, like, I wonder what she's doing up in heaven or wherever she is. That sounds a bit odd, but sometimes I just think, I do believe that there's somewhere we go. Anyway, very deep conversation. I've got my ring on, watch. And then perfume of the night is this stuff. I've actually been wearing this every day, to be honest. I can't get enough of it. I quite like the bottle, and I like this size because you don't have to commit. You know, when you're trying a new scent, I feel like you need to try it in different settings. I'm really enjoying this deodorant. Stubborn. This is one thing, so I'm all for natural products where I can, but I've tried natural deodorants and it's just not for me. Like, I can't do with the smell. You know, like, just the thought of that is not for me. Alright, what do we call this one, Dad? What's this outfit? Talk us through it. So we've got
it's
green.
Mason Caton Brown's outfit is this. I've got not much space here with the shorts on. I've got his trainers on.
Nice brown new shoes.
No, well, Mason wants these, but they're a bit too big for him. But there you go.
Very nice. Green. Flonus green. Nice
Breathes,
tan.
it breathes like me. Breathes.
Right, okay.
It's like a
It is Saturday and just driven to Les Fonts Falls, which is called Agar Falls, in about an hour from our place. So it's like a waterfall. I'm not sure if it's a bit of a hike as well, so we're just headed up there. I've been up this morning, I did a run. I actually thought I had a call with the Florence Club girlies and a guest speaker on anxiety, but it's actually tomorrow. So I'd rushed around this morning, got all set up. I also had a bit of a weird, like, one of my migraine. I think I was a bit dehydrated, to be honest, yesterday. I didn't hit all my water intake. Yeah, driven here, had some tunes on. With your parents, always put on an 80s or 70s playlist. I feel like, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna hike up here. I've eaten lots today. I was quite hungry. I had my oats. I had some eggs with some beef mince, and then we drove past some quite nice looking restaurants, so I reckon we'll stop off. So I'll bring you along. I had my little mic for this, and it's like the tiniest square. I don't know where I've put it.
I don't have to look no further, 'cause I've reached my destination. I used to be lost, but now I'm found. As long as I know that you'll be around, I don't have to keep on searching. I'm right where I wanna be. I used to be so sad. Now I'm glad I found something I never had, and I'm ready. To keep this burden, 'cause I found my salvation. I used to be blind, now I see.
It is Sunday and just drove to a brunch spot. It's a real Spanishy kind of breakfast spot that we really like going to. I've not been here since I've been in Spain, so I already had my breakfast this morning. I had my oats, but I'm gonna have some eggs of some sort here. It's 10 a.m. No, it's not, it's 10 to 11. And I'm also going to train legs, which is unheard of for me on a Sunday, but I had an extra rest day the other day, so I like training on a weekend because you have a bit more time. Had an amazing call with Georgie Collinson, who is an anxiety therapist. Her dad is in this little cafe, so I'm going to go in there. One of my love languages, for absolute sure, is making people food, and for the barbecue tonight I decided to make a fig crumble off the actual figs from our garden. Now this is really funny because this is actually the first year that we've actually been able to get these figs off our own tree, because one of our neighbours always comes and steals our figs. So it felt very special to actually be able to use these off the tree after years of wondering why they always go missing and there's never any figs once they're ripe. So you want to take 12 small figs into quarters. This recipe that I am making serves 2 to 3 people. I probably should have made more in hindsight, but there we go. So you want to start by slicing your figs and then juicing 1 whole lemon. So you've got a generous amount of lemon juice. This is really what makes the difference. And using a tablespoon of honey to create that bottom layer, popping and combining all those ingredients, making sure they're well coated and popping that aside. And then we're going to start with the crust. So we're taking 1 very overripe banana, mashing that very well, 80 grams of oats, 2 tablespoons of honey, a tablespoon of flaxseed and a tablespoon of honey, 1.5 tablespoons of peanut butter. And you also want to make sure you've preheated your oven to 180 degrees. So once you've combined the figs and you've got your base layer, take a baking dish, I just sprayed with a little bit of olive oil, bake until it's nice and crispy. So it takes around 35 to 45 minutes. It was sensational. Also so nice served with some vanilla ice cream. Wraps up this weekly vlog. It's been such a nice week. Spontaneous vibe. Didn't have going on a boat on the agenda, but just milking what feels like the last little bit of summer. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I've got another one coming next week. If you want me to keep these like on a weekly basis, just let me know in the comments down below. I also have lots of exciting things planned. We've got a girls' weekend coming up, which is just my favourite thing in the world. I feel like I've just needed a besties kind of weekend, like a few girls' nights. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, evening. If you haven't already as well, make sure you've grabbed your spot for the 15th of September when we start our next 8-week challenge, which is Get Back in Flow. And I just can't wait to finish off this year, you and me, feeling really, really strong alignment, and just how everything is going to connect, as in it's not just in your body, but in your mindset, so that you can really achieve your goals with your finances, with your relationships, with having a good balance with your friends, and just manifesting and attracting the highest things all in. That is what we're going to focus on with our training, our nutrition, our setting intentions every single day, and also holding each other accountable. So I'm really giddy for that. But yeah, I can't wait to catch you in the next one.